positions on the grid, and where they finish at the end of that race will determine their grid position from 29th to 36th. So, your grid for the last race before the lunch break is as follows. Stormbroer and Ilian Brunsils are on the front row, ahead of Mads Ries and Lewis Gilbert. Tom Edmonds and Nick van der Mosselaar, that's row number 3, with Kieran Gifford and 2019 Rotax Max Euro Trophy Senior Max Champion Matilda Olsson, rounding out the top 4 rows. Max Demerdink and Nelson King from the United Kingdom, that's the top 10 completed. James Lingard and Will Jenkins in 334 and 330 respectively, that's row 6, ahead of the 304 of Mick Knowlton, the 327 of Andreas Hebert, the 390 of Tim Mika Metz, the 384 of Samuel Harrison, the 310 of Mario Sidler, the 358 of Patrick Grunquist, the 343 of Shogo Endo, the 383 of Vincent van Kerkhoffen, Oscar Hall in the 380, the 375 of Lorenzo Stock, the 367 of Yash Ramjankan, the 350 of Victor Plateau, the 301 of Charlie Turner, the 306 of Ehad Turka, and in 27th and 28th position respectively, the 351 of Greece's Georgios Bersis, and the 364 of the United Kingdom's Josh Powell. So again, 7 minutes on the clock are set in stone, and then it will be with one additional lap. So it will be down to Stormbroer and Ilian Brunsils to set the pace for the rolling start here in the final race before the lunch break here at Karting Genk, the home of champions, for the final round of the 2019 BNL Karting Series season, being held here in the fantastic, wonderful Limburg countryside. So the field has to get into formation very, very soon indeed. And we'll find out what happens this time around. We saw the first one was a humdinger. Let's see what happens in this one. 28 drivers set to get into battle over 7 minutes, plus an additional lap in our second and penultimate qualifying heat of the day for the penultimate race day of the season. Revs rise, lights go out, and we go racing, heading down into the first couple of corners. Stormbroer gets a good lead there, and it looks like Mads Ries has jumped Ilian Brunsils, who has to go on to the runoff area through turn 2. They are allowed to use that on the very first lap. So Brunsils already down into 3rd place. Just behind him is Tom Edmonds. You've then got Lewis Gilbert and Kieran Gifford as well. So in many respects, Stormbroer got an absolutely brilliant start there, but Mads Ries just went, I'm going to have a bit of action at the front. He's been very well known as a great Junior Max competitor last year. He's made the move to seniors this year. It's not been easy for the young Dane, but he does shine when he decides to put on a show for the ladies and gentlemen here at the circuit and for those watching at home on the live stream. 6 minutes 13 plus an additional lap to go. Let's find out what the running order is after this first lap. Stormbroer leads, Mads Ries in 2nd, Ilian Brunsils in 3rd place. Then it's Tom Edmonds, Lewis Gilbert, Matilda Olsson from Sweden up into 6th place now, ahead of Kieran Gifford, Nelson King, Nick van der Mosselaar, Max Demerdink, Andreas Hebert, Mick Knowlton. Looks like Will Jenkins, Tim Mika Metz and James Lingard round out the top 15. As there is an absolute swarm of karts heading down from what is effectively turn 6 to 7. Looks like Mads Ries now down into 4th position ahead of Lewis Gilbert. So that would indicate to me that Tom Edmonds has moved up into 3rd. Ilian Brunsils now is behind Stormbroer for 2nd position. And they better be careful. They might run line astern here, the Senior Max drivers, but then if they start tripping over each other, it can get very heated very, very quickly indeed. So Gilbert's got to try and pull away as Matilda Olsson goes up the inside of Mads Ries. And looks like Nelson King trying to do the same on the Dane as well, but can't get past. As he was behind Kieran Gifford. As Gifford gets... there's definitely some argy-bargy down in the bottom part of the top 10. Mick Knowlton definitely trying to capitalise. So there's been a little bit of pushing and shoving all the way down from around 6th to 11th to 12th position. So some drivers trying to get the track, trying to get that bit of tarmac they want. Someone else tries to sling it through and goes, I'm going to have that. And then someone else goes, well, if you two are going to squabble over that same piece of tarmac, I'll go up the inside where there is a runoff. There is a bit of runoff, a bit of tarmac that I can have to myself without exceeding track limits. So Mick Knowlton definitely making amends for he's had a difficult year as the Dutch driver. I've known him since 2018, and now he is running behind the 318 of Niek van der Mosselaar, as Ilian Brunsils now has the lead ahead of Sombreur. Lewis Gilbert in third place, Tom Edmonds fourth. Behind, well, has got Mathilde Olsson. Now, for those you normally see what Mathilde Olsson runs in. It's normally Strawberry Racing on the Tony Kart chassis, but she's running a Sony Kart, which is the official chassis provider for the Grand Finals. So this is perfect track time. This is really allowing Mathilde through the opportunity to race under pure race conditions, to qualify, because when people... Oh, there's an absolute skirmish right down the back part of the field, probably towards the back, the lower dregs of the top 20. 3 and nearly 4 tried to go into the same corner at turn 7, and it nearly came out very, very messy indeed. Stormborough is going to be passed now by Lewis Gilbert, who goes up the inside of the Dutch driver, takes second place. Now we'll try and hunt down Ilian Brunsils. And Brunsils is third in the championship. Gilbert is leading the five drivers from himself to 8th position, and has and it's basically a 27-point spread, as there's an absolute melee a little bit further down towards the bottom part, around about 7th, 8th, 9th position. Mick Knowlton definitely in the middle of that, and Niek van der Mosselaar's there. Andrés Hebert from France also there too, with the Dutch driver. And I'm just keeping an eye on the pace that Mathilde Olsson is setting at the moment. She's just under 55.607, 1/1000th slower than Ilian Brunsils, but the fastest driver out on the circuit at the moment, who is consistently running in the low to mid 55-second bracket, is the guy in second position, the Dorroy Diamond, Lewis Gilbert. So Gilbert definitely trying to close down on Brunsils. The gap was just over half a second. It is now just under 3/10. So Gilbert really trying to pressurise now on Brunsils. Stormborough is there. Mathilde Olsson is just waiting. Now, this driver has been an absolute tour de force this year, not just over in the Euro Trophy, but also over in Sweden. But now, I mean, if anyone might remember from memory, she was part of the Strawberry Racing whitewash of the BNL Rotax Golden Trophy in Cinemax, which was won by Mark Kimber. Jordan Brown-Utley was second. Mathilde Olsson with still having to recover from the right knee injury, a broken knee. So she was still wearing a knee brace, but now she is definitely the person that really everyone's going to have to watch out for this weekend. So Brunsils still leads, Gilbert still in second. Stormborough maybe third, but for how much longer? Just under a minute and a half to go, and I have to say Tom Edmonds definitely very much... Oh, Mathilde Olsson went up the inside of Stormborough. Nice move by the Swede from Uppsala to take third position. Now has a chance. Now, giving that we've got about a minute and 10 to go, we'll have this lap plus another one. So you're probably going to have another, including... So if we get to the end of this lap, we'll probably have another 2. So this is the first of 3 more laps to go in this race to take us through to the lunch break. So Olsson really hustling that Sony Kart chassis along. That's great work from the Swede. So Brunsils still continues to lead. Gilbert in second, Olsson, then it's Breuer, then it's a little bit further back to Edmonds. Mads Rees in 6th place, and from 4th to 5th, a big gap. Then there's an absolute huge, like river-like expanse as Nelson King has got up the inside of Mads Rees. That's a great job. Mick Knowlton could pounce past the Dane, what is effectively 8th position. As Niek van der Mosselaar now in 9th, it looks like. I'll make that 10th as Andrés Hebert now goes into 9th place. So the lead has been changing, hand over fist, and through it all, it was a 4-way squabble. Mathilde Olsson and Stormborough. Oh, that's a bit of a hefty whack from behind, I must say. That unsettled Stormborough. Nearly put the kibosh on Ilian Brunsils, who's had to fend off Lewis Gilbert for 3rd place. So Olsson just had the measure of the 3 of them, went up the inside, took the inside line, went powered down to turn 7, got a bump from behind from... oh, that's a bit of... now, that was definitely something interesting there as Gilbert and well, Tom Edmonds has just gone, thanks boys, you've been squabbling, I'll have the pair of you. So Brunseel's now in fourth, tries to go up the inside. This is getting really, really feisty in the battle for third position as Olson and Breuer now on the final lap. It's just gone upside down and it's been shaken like a sand timer before you set it down. And the sands of time are quickly running out because Edmonds now has lost out to Gilbert and Brunseel's now who are battling. Brunseel's trying to go round to the outside of Gilbert through turn 7, but the two leaders line astern through turn 9 for the final time. But then third place, it's not just two carts, it's third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth and ninth. That's a six-cart battle over third place, but the checker flag is being prepared. Olson is just going to park it where she needs to and will take a well-deserved victory. So Matilda Olson on the Sodi kart chassis takes a win here at the final round, and Ilian Brunseels outdrags Lewis Gilbert. Well, that was definitely very interesting indeed. So Brunseels takes third ahead of Gilbert. Tom Edmonds could have got third place, but ended up fifth. Mick Knowlton would finish ahead of Nelson King, so Mick Knowlton in sixth place. Mads Rees dropping all the way down to eighth from third. Andreas Hebert and Kieran Gifford ran out the top 10, but that was very, very interesting indeed. Two major plays there that really saw the race unfold before our very eyes, and I think probably when Matilda Olson saw that huge big gap on the inside of turn 6 with around about a lap and a half to go, she went, right, that's it, that's mine, and she claimed it and took the win. So Olson wins from Storm Breuer, Ilian Brunseels, Lewis Gilbert, Tom Edmonds, Mick Knowlton, Nelson King, Mads Rees, Andreas Hebert, Kieran Gifford, Max Stemmerdink, James Lingard, Charlie Turner, Patrick Grunquist and Nick van der Mosselaar ran out the top 15. They all score respective points towards their qualification. Then from 16th onwards it was Will Jenkins, Tim Mika Metz, Endo Shogo, Mario Sidler, Victor Plateau, Vincent van Kerkhoven, Samuel Harrison, Yash Ramjankan, Lorenzo Stolk, Ehad Turker, Georgios Bersis, Oscar Hall and Josh Powell rounding out the 28 strong, who all finished, all separated